Hi, just like a random prep food type video. I've done one before. I'll be doing them periodically, every now and then, just to maybe give you a few ideas and have a bit of a chat, just so that there aren't, big gaps in between the videos as well. So this is a beef Balti. I bought the beef. It was, when you come towards the end of barbecue season, they reduce loads of barbecue stuff. So whenever they do that, I fill my freezer up with meat. I have got quite a lot of organic food, organic meat, but it is extremely expensive, shockingly so. So it beggars belief, really, when you really think about the budget range chicken breasts that you buy from supermarkets, and they're making a profit on top of that as well. It makes you wonder what's what's happened over the last kind of 5 years has made us think very deeply about a lot of aspects of our food, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. So this is what's gone into it, and then we'll have a bit of a chat along the way. So this is out the freezer. These are just kind of they're very, very thin. Again, this video is going to be boring to some people and interesting to others. They're very thin. They're probably about 1/2 centimetre thick, and you get 4 in there, and you just different. I mean, I've just got this out of the freezer just to show what they look like. And so you just cut them into strips, stick them in there, and fry them up with red onions, which were reduced. The steak slices. I've used garlic that's a year, just over a year old. That is, garlic's really good for pickling because it holds its rigidity. You get one out after a year and a half and it's still solid. But when you pickle garlic, it'll turn blue just for a little while, then it'll go back to looking normal again. But it will go blue, which is, don't be alarmed by it. It's completely natural. It's something to do with the pickling vinegar reacting with enzymes in the garlic. I bought a load of reduced garlic as well. I mean, look at that. 2 cloves for 24p. These will all be pickled in a separate jar, so that I can use the first lot up first, and I'll just label 1 and 2. The other garlic that I bought, which are much bigger bulbs, they'll be planted, as I mentioned in a previous video. So yeah, I've got a year-old pickled garlic. I've put about 5 of those in there, coarsely chopped. Everything's coarsely chopped. It makes it more hearty, The mushrooms, they were bought fresh and then dehydrated in my dehydrator. So the plastic pots they're a general size, aren't they? Well, each one of these pouches that's dehydrated, I mean, look how thin that is. That's dehydrated is probably about half of one of those plastic tubs. And then you put it in a separate pan with some water, with a lid. Better turn that off now, wasting gas. With a lid, bring it to the boil, and then leave them to simmer for about half an hour, and then you're good to go. And then just chuck them in. Mushrooms, they'll never go back to the way that they were, so you've got to take that into account. But if you do what I've just said, you'll hardly notice the difference in the texture. What else have I got in there? Yeah, so there's a little Balti, the ones that come with all the herbs and stuff in the lid. There's the foil, look. I have to put it on here so that you can see the date. May 2023. Disclaimer, I'm not saying that you should use any out of date or beyond best before date food to cook. If you do that, it's on you, it's not on me. You know, you do you, I'll do me. But, you know, everything I've done so far, I've not had a problem. No problem. And no waste. But yeah, you know, just use your own, you know, your own sensors. They generally won't let you down. So that's the pack that those mushrooms were in. And they were packed 2023, September 2023. So a year ago. You know, you try making fresh mushrooms last that long, you know, it's not happening. It's not happening. Peppers, I bought shop bought peppers because mine are in the grow tent now, finishing off, and they are coming back. They are growing now, which I'm quite chuffed about. So there's one full pepper in there as well, again chopped coarsely, and chilies as well. I've put some of those finger chilies in there, about 8 or 9. Took all the seeds out and then plonked them in there to add an extra bit of a kick, and topped off with a bag of cashew nuts. And you know, just so you've got a bit of crunch in your curry. And I'll be letting that cool down. Once it's cooked in a bit more, I'll be letting that cool down. I'll be putting half of it into a container and putting it in the freezer. The other half will be going in a bowl and going in the fridge for tomorrow. Because tonight I'm going to be having a Cornish pasty with marrowfat peas, because I love that combination. These peas, January 2022. So I'll just cook the arse out of them, no problem. I've got some beans that I've just dug out from September 2021. There's no concave, no sign whatsoever, any of any problems. Because of the age of this, there is a chance that there will be a little bit of a spurt, but I've encountered that about 5 or 6 times so far over the last couple of months. Cook the arse out of them, no problem. But that's just me. That's just me. So yeah, this is pretty much the list of what's gone in. I've missed the chilies off there because it was an afterthought. But that's it. I've just watched a documentary on Poland, and they've just built fences all over the place. You're not coming in. You're not coming in. That's their attitude. And if you come in, you risk getting shot. You know, a fatal consequence for invading their country. And, you know, I'm not going to say that's a good thing, or I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but it's working. It's doing the job. Yeah. Oh, and I need to put them back in the freezer because they don't take much defrosting because they're so thin. So again, very practical. And because they're so thin, they take up. You can just, you know, stack them in your freezer. Take up no space. I found these hidden away. August 2022. So I'm not going to write these off because there are bread recipes out there. It's not great milk. It's shit milk. It's UHT. You know, the stuff that the processes that this milk's gone through is ridiculous. In fact, most of your shop bought milk is just white water. All the goodness has gone out of it because of the pasteurising process. You know? So when you're putting milk on your cereals and stuff, shop bought milk, you're not adding any nutrition to yourself whatsoever. It's crap. In fact, if you do a little bit more digging on that, you'll realise it's actually quite unhealthy. because the fat molecules end up going places where they shouldn't really. Do a little bit of research, but I don't like waste. And I know that there are bread recipes that you can use milk with self-raising flour, because nearly all the flour I've got is plain, but I did buy some self-raising flour and it needs using up. But yeah, as far as milk's concerned, pretty much every co-op sells that, unpasteurised. So that's great for your cereals, for your kids, you know, blah de blah. And for making cups of tea and coffee, double cream. You need one tiny couple of little drips of the stuff, and that's equivalent to the amount of milk that you'd normally put in a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Cream. So you're getting the goodness of the cream, you're getting the goodness of the milk, if you can avoid pasteurised and UHT. That's all for now. Much love. Ciao for now.